Oh my God, the windshield. It's the 4th of July. I'm in my mother's Ford Country Squire. I'm with my sister. I'm 16 years old, and we're getting ready to go to Disney. She picked us up after spring break was beginning at the end of school. But I digress. At 7th period, I hung out and found my crush boyfriend, Joe DeRose. He was handsome. He had long hair, beard, mustache. He was one of those guys that at 16 was already developed. Saw him in Facebook lately. Testosterone storm has been over for a long time. I had given him some speed a few weeks ago because I thought it would kind of get me in. And I told him I was going to take him up on a trade. Of course, when you have those teenage crushes, you have to have a reason to have the guy that doesn't pay you any attention to be able to talk to him again. So here I was, the day of spring break, going to Disney with my family. They weren't labeled yet, but they were truly dysfunctional, my parents. Now I know they were borderline personalities. But back then, all I knew was they were a real pain in my ass, and going to Florida with them to Disney was not going to be an easy thing. But in the meantime, back to the boyfriend. He gave me some LSD. Talk about a weird trip. He told me it was blotter acid. What did I know? I was into drugs, but I had never done LSD before. It was 6-way. We're not talking sexual here. We're just talking some basic pharmaceuticals. So I go ahead and I do myself a little bit of this 6-way. It's 7th period, nothing was really happening. I thought, oh, I think he gave me a dud because that's what he thinks of me. Little did I know until I was in the Ford Country Squire that the 6-way meant you only did one piece of it to get off. 6 times, there were 6 doses of LSD there. Next thing I know, we're at the shoe store, because of course we needed new sandals for Florida. And I grabbed my 14-year-old sister, who up to that point was nowhere near my best friend, because you know how it is when you have a little sister, she wants to be with all your friends, so you don't want to know her. So there I was in the shoe section, and I said to her, oh my God, I am tripping my ass off. Are these shoes really got little dots and swirls with every multicolor under the sun? And she said, no, they're white. I'm like, what am I going to do? Wait till Mom sees me. Of course, my pupils had already outdilated. I had no more iris left, but my mother was a little bit, oh, when it came to that kind of thing. Thank God. Otherwise, my ass was grass. We get our little shoes, we go home, it's spaghetti night. Now, have you ever thought about eating spaghetti while you're tripping? It's worms on the table. Now, it was also my night to work at Huffman Coo's furniture store, where my mother was also in the office, so she drives me to work. I have to ask her to pull over so I can throw up the spaghetti on the side of the road. Now we have multicolored worms to look at. And I'm in the store thinking, what am I going to do? I call my best friends. No, it's not cell phone. I had to find a phone in the office. And I tell them, oh my God, Terry and Joe, I am tripping my ass off. My mother is here. I don't know what to do. They run in. Salesman stops them. Yeah, right. 2 17-year-olds. They certainly want that furniture living room set sitting in the front row. I take them to the back of the warehouse where we start putting the radio on and we have a good old time. It wasn't so bad with my friends there. But then it's time for me to go home with Mom. Well, I make it home, I get to my room, got my little stereo, put on the Yes album. Now that's the way to go on a weird trip on LSD, grooving to the Yes. The only problem was I still had to pack. Oh my God, what to pack when you're on LSD? I made sure I had my other Yes album in a suitcase, a bathing suit, those multicolored sandals that the next day I realized were just plain white. And there I was, ready to go. Next morning, we're up in Florida. I've already been up all night. It's 4 a.m. and I'm still tripping. She's got a ticket to ride. Yeah. So I wound up going to Disneyland. Disneyland was really the trip, but it was nowhere near as good as that trip watching the fireworks in the good old Ford Country Squire. Thank you.